In the 1980s, arcade games were played with the mindset that in order to get the highest score, you needed as many quarters as possible to play the game for as long as possible. Longer playtimes means higher scores. However, this mindset has completely reversed for some people. Now, a group of gamers aim to complete the game as quickly as possible. High scores don't mean as much. It's all about the time. This new way to play is called speedrunning. In order to understand speedrunning, we have to cover some terminology. Definitions are agreed upon by the community. A speedrun is completing a game as quickly as possible using any means necessary, and typically a game is completed once a player finishes the final level. If a runner would like their run to be officially documented, they submit their video to moderators who carefully play it back to decide if it is legitimate. Speedruns are further categorized. These categories have their own set of rules. Now I will explain some categories. Any percent is the most common category, which means to complete the game as fast as possible by any means necessary. That includes glitches and/or exploits. The game ends after the main goal is achieved or the final boss is defeated. This also depends on what game the runner is playing. 100% is completing the game as quickly as possible by any means necessary while also collecting all currencies, trophies, achievements, or other items in the game. This also depends on what the game is and what the community determines to be necessary to collect 100% of the items in the game. For example, if you're playing a Mario game, you would want to collect all of the stars. Glitchless means without glitches. Now we have to talk about the difference between a glitch and an exploit. A glitch uses a bug to do actions that the games or the programmers didn't intend. That could mean clipping through a barrier to get somewhere quicker. Exploits use a glitch or hack to gain the upper hand. One of the most famous exploits is how Mario in one of his games can jump on a Koopa shell an infinite amount of time to gain as many lives as possible. Along with specific terms, runners also use many acronyms throughout their playthroughs. WR is short for World Record. This is the fastest time ran for a game, and to be official, it must be approved by moderators. PB is short for Personal Best. This is the runner's fastest speedrun. It may or may not be world record, but it's more of a personal accomplishment. RNG is short for Random Number Generator, basically equivalent to luck. If a runner says they have good RNG, that means they have great luck. Items and events have probabilities of happening, and if a runner gets something quickly, that is good RNG. Here are the final 3 terms I would like to cover. A task is short for a tool-assisted speedrun. It is performed by a computer, and basically is the most theoretically perfect playthrough. The runner uses knowledge of their game to provide input and code so the game can deliver frame-perfect maneuvers. A frame is a single still image displayed by the computer, video game console, or software application. How many images flash on the screen at once is called FPS or frames per second. A split is a section of the game. Once each section is complete, runners mark that as a split and calculate how much time they gained or lost from them. Here is a still image of a speedrun. This is the speedrunner. These are where the splits go. This is the chat, and this is the title. Now I will show you a clip from runners CZR, who ran Super Mario 64 on their drum set. Now we will talk about the subculture of speedrunning. Speedrun.com. It's a very popular speedrunning website where runners submit their runs. The site explains the rules for speedrunning and moderating, and a lot of communities gather here. They also hold competitions, specifically Games Done Quick or GDQ. This raises millions of dollars to go to nonprofit organizations, and donations may encourage what happens in any game or may enter the donator into a raffle. These are semi-annual marathon competitions hosted over the course of a week and streamed live on Twitch. This normally happens in person at convention centers where different games are run in different rooms at different times. Here is a sample screenshot from speedrun.com. This is Super Mario 64 120 star categories leaderboard. Here is the name, the series, the date, and the consoles it is used on. Here are the categories as well as consoles. And all of the names below are streamers that have made it onto the leaderboard. This is what the layout for GDQ looks like on Twitch. Here is the runner and their couch of commentators that talks about what's going on during the game, their sponsors, the runner at the top, and the time currently at the bottom. Here is what the game is called, the category, the platform, the release year, and the estimated time to complete. And here is just the donation goals for this GDQ and how they are donating to the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Moderators, speedrunners, and fans are divided into a hierarchy. Although they have differing levels of power, they all work together in order to make the community what it is. Moderators have the most power, they are the most credible, and they are essentially experts for the games they approve. Speedrunners are extremely skilled at the game they run, they usually live stream, they have a fan base that is knowledgeable, and may attend competitions to show off their skills live and support a good cause. Fans watch speedruns either for fun or to learn new skills. They may provide tips for speedrunners, engage in friendly community chats on streams or forums, or support the community by donating to runners on stream or donating to nonprofits at competitions. The technology practice triangle is a visual to explain the connections between cultural, organizational, and technical aspects of speedrunning. Technical aspects include that runners are technically proficient in math and different technologies. They can program tasks to run the game and find perfect routes, and they can study for shortcuts through glitches or codes. Organizational aspects include that moderators decide on runs' legitimacies. Anyone can speedrun. They need the console, game, streaming devices, and time to practice, and they can move up through the hierarchy. Fans can become runners or moderators if they are knowledgeable enough. And culturally, speedrunning brings together casual fans of games and hardcore fans over a central goal of completing the game as quickly as possible. It alters existing cultural assumptions about the gaming community because it shows that speedrun competitions raise money for a good cause and that speedrunners are incredibly smart with math and science and other gaming technologies. So what is the significance of the speedrunning subculture? It shows runners' technical skills towards games, brings fans and runners together to create new strategies to beat said games, allows runners to demonstrate their skills and keep pushing the boundaries on how quickly a game can be played, provides challenges. Can a game be run with certain restrictions? How can it be made more difficult? Shows technical skills of runners and of task programs. Competitions raise money for charities and nonprofits. It creates special vocabulary to understand the games and how a runner performs. Destigmatizes gamers and their stereotypes. And it is a growing subculture that is becoming more popular by the day. If you would like to know more about speedrunning, I recommend the following YouTubers. You can also check out speedrun.com for leaderboards, Speed Demos Archives for forums, and the GDQ Wiki for more about their competitions. And now I want to close the video with a very heartwarming clip about Simply, a streamer who finally beat the world record about a year ago in one of the most played games, Super Mario 64.
Hold on, he did, keeping that lead strong for the rest of the run. What happened after was a truly beautiful moment.
record.
Larry, he got the world record. Oh my God, you got the world record? Oh my face. Oh my God, I knew it was coming. Oh my God.
Hey, bud.
Oh my God.
What'd you get? What was your time?
Oh my God.
1:38:28.
Oh my
So
God.
11 seconds or 9 seconds?
Oh.
Guess who's number one in the world?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my
Wow.
God.
Well, you've been flirting with it. You've been flirting with it.
Oh, I love you.
Awesome.
I knew this was coming.